Okay, so a slightly easier way of constructing or drawing our name or letters is to draw a cuboid to begin with as the kind of base where we're going to draw all of our letters. So I've drawn a vertical line, a horizontal line. I'm just going to draw in a long horizontal line across my page. I'm going to draw a parallel horizontal line on the top of that first vertical line. So what we've got here now is one large cuboid where we're going to use this to easily construct each individual letter within little individual boxes. So I'm going to draw the name Mike, which has got that kind of tricky M shape and that tricky K shape. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to split my first portion of the box into 5 cubes for my letter M. So it's always easier to draw in the parts of the shape that follow the guidelines first. So what I can do is I can draw in the kind of legs of the M first. So I'm going to make these both 2 triangles wide at the bottom. So as you can see here, there's a kind of box in between each of the legs. So in the middle of that box, on the second row, I'm going to put a little dot. I'm going to marry up these points, top edge points of the legs to that dot to start to create that pointed part of my M shape. I'm going to do exactly the same at the top of here. So my legs will go all the way up to here. It's up to you to decide how deep you want your M to be. I'm going to go 2 boxes down. I'm going to do exactly the same as what I've done but in reverse. And connect top edges of my leg shape to that kind of V shape there to create the start of that M. Then I'm going to draw some horizontal lines to start making my shape look a little bit more 3D. I'm only going to go 1 box back because I want my 3D shape to still be quite thin, quite skinny. So I need to draw in this edge here because obviously we're creating that whole 3D look. If I don't draw in this back edge, it's looking a little bit 2D still. So I've got my M shape. What I'm going to do now is move along to draw my eye shape. So my eye is quite an easy shape, but what we're going to do is still draw in my boxes. So I'm going to draw 3 boxes, 3 triangles wide for this one to start my eye. So I think I might do a kind of miniature eye with the kind of dot on top. So I'm going to have the front of my eye actually only be 1 triangle wide. So I'm drawing in that top edge now of my eye shape. And now I've drawn that 3D eye. At the top of that, I'm going to start to construct a kind of round dot shape, which you usually have at the top of an eye sometimes, like you can see there. So I'm simply going to draw a 1 by 1 cube. And as you can see, I'm starting to get M and now I. So using in that side part of the box I drew for I, I'm going to use that as the side of my K shape now. So I'm going to do my K, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 triangles wide. Drawing that box again to construct the face of the shape. So, we're doing the K. What I'll do is I'll draw in those legs again, following the vertical lines just like I did with the M, and using these points of the K, I'm going to connect the pointed part of the K to the top edge of my K. So I'm starting to construct a K shape, drawing across my lines now. So in the middle of my shape, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles deep. So I need to find a middle point on my K shape. So 1, 2, 3 triangles down. I'm going to draw my dot, and it's like I'm doing here what I did with my M. I'm finding the middle point to create a pointed shape. So what I'll do is I'll connect that middle point to the corner point of my shape. And I'm starting to get that K shape. So again, what I'll do is I'll draw in those horizontal lines to start to create a shape looking more 3D. I'll then draw in these vertical lines to create the side parts of the shape. And there we're starting to get a more 3D looking K. So finally, we're going to construct an E shape. I'm running out of a bit of space, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get a little bit off my page at the top here. Don't worry, still fill it in, it's fine. So to construct my E shape, I'm going to have an odd number here to work with. So I'm making the face of my E. I'll draw in those horizontal lines, draw the top edge. Don't forget, I need to do it here where I've got these kind of prongs of the E as well, because otherwise it'll look 2D here and 3D here. And then finally, I draw in that vertical edge to create that E shape on the side of the E. So, now I've got Mike written using my boxes, what I want to do is I want to go over the areas that I want to keep. So, using a darker pencil, what I'm going to do is create an outline, a nice bold outline for my letters. Only going over the parts that I'm going to keep. So I'm going to rub the rest out. Hopefully you'll be able to tell this is now looking a lot more 3D. There's my M. There's my I. That top little dot part of my eye. Start my K. And you can see how important it is to have drawn those boxes in that first cuboid to make sure that all of our letters are following the same direction and they're all the same height and a similar kind of width. They're looking quite proportional, which is what we're looking for. And finally our E. We've got a nice bold mic outline. We'll take our rubber, we'll carefully remove those extra points that we've drawn on. We drew the box as our little outline to begin with. Doesn't matter if you rub a little bit out of what you've just drawn over, just so that we don't completely rub everything away. So we know what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep. So once we've done that, we've got rid of the pencil part of the outline that we'd already drawn. And what we're going to do now is simply start to render different areas of our shape. Remember, keep a nice loose grip on our pencils, like we're holding a chopstick. We're not applying too much pressure. We're rendering, just picking up the grain of that page. So we're not applying too much pressure. We're just building up layers of tone to create darker colour, really gently, so we don't destroy our page. And so I'll use different colour on different faces of the shape, and then that would be my name completed.